Hello riders and not. Today on the vlog is my last thoughts, a review of Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. It's a deep, dark winter here in UK. In fact, it was Christmas in 5 days, in 4 when you're watching this video. And as you can see, the bike is a little bit filthy of me riding it for the last month or so. Not that much, to be honest, because the weather been rougher some days. And when you have a choice to ride or not to ride, sometimes even me choose not to ride. But I believe I had enough time to tell you my final thoughts. Plus, I did research, and if you haven't seen, I did 2 videos of the very different custom Interceptors by Fast Tech Racing. And for me, one of the main advantages of this bike is that you can buy it for a not that high price. It's just a little over £6,000 here in UK, and you can customize it. So that's what I love about it, but at the same time, the bike as it is, for me, is not enough. I quite like the simplicity of riding it, especially at this time of the year, when it is more difficult to ride on the road because the drivers don't expect you on the road, so you have to be more aware of everyone, every road user. This time just before Christmas, the roads are so busy, everyone is rushing. Once you go outside the city and when you find a quiet road here in Essex, they are filthy. The quieter the road, the more filthy it is. Yeah, the road can be very unpredictable, as you can see. Slippery as hell. And dirty. And Interceptor handled it perfectly. I didn't have one skid, I didn't have one oh shit moment. It did great with the tires that on, without any upgrades, just as it is. It did great in every single environment that I tried it. So starting from the main, from leaving my house and urban environment, and as I mentioned, very busy Christmas traffic, is doing great. It's easy to maneuver, it's easy to accelerate, it's easy to stop, it's simple to ride, it's great on the muddy road, which I call very light off-road kind. So if you end up on something like this on the muddy surface, or you end up on gravel, that bike handles perfect. I also rode it at night, not entirely night, but very late evening, which comes very early this time of the year, and had a chance to check that new headlight. Okay, that's better. Okay, here we go. So on the pole beam, I could see perfectly. I could see very well, and I had no issues riding it in the darkness. 648 cc 47 horsepower and 52 Newton meters of torque. Obviously not designed for you to go on the track, but up to the speed limit and even faster than that, it is enough to lose your license. It is enough to have fun. The power range I found is quite smooth. It's not like my bike, like my Sportster, that is very picky, very torquey at the beginning and then starts losing power when it goes up. And it is not like a sports bike where you have to rev it to have a power at the very end. Now brakes. They are maybe a little bit better than my Sportster brakes, but only just a little bit. I wouldn't say that they are the sharpest brakes that I know, and they started squeaking. So maybe something got into the brakes, or maybe some cleaning stuff got into the brakes. I wasn't cleaning it, that means it was cleaned before me. Or something like a little bit of dust or dirt got into the brakes. I had squeaky brakes for some time on my Sportster, and even changing the brake pads didn't change it, and I had them squeaky for a long time. It was very embarrassing, and I don't like that sound, and that reminded me of that squeaky sound, which I don't particularly like, but it is as it is. It is squeaking. When I try to stop, the rear brake makes a squeaky noise. The front brake probably a tad better than my Sportster front brake, and overall brakes does the job for the speed you're riding this bike, and for what it is designed, it does the job just perfectly. But I wouldn't say that it's the sharpest, and I couldn't compare it with Japanese bikes brakes, for example, or the brakes of a custom Interceptor that I rode. I don't want to compare it with a custom Interceptor overall, because it wouldn't be fair. It's customized, it's made better, and it's meant to be better. And Fastech specializes in making motorcycles better, so obviously this and double the price custom project can't be compared. But so you know, you can improve it as well. You can improve it from two. If you like Interceptor, the possibilities of the customization, and you have to watch the vlogs of custom Interceptors if you are interested in that, are endless. From improving the suspension, improving obviously the brakes, from taking the weight off, from changing the appearances completely, from improving the sound, and my ears is definitely improved, and improving the performance, improving the engine. Possibilities are absolutely endless, and this is what I love about this bike. This is one of the reasons I think this is great project.
You can call me stupid, yes, you can call me sheep, you can say I'm lazy, you can say I'm weak. You think that using her would get to me, and if you're right then you're in trouble deep, 'cause I won't break, no I know I won't wait. You're in trouble deep.
And now talking purely visually, guys, I like it. I mean, I like custom more, and I would change it, but still, it's a great looking bike. Even having that huge exhaust that I never a fan of, I think it works with the design smoothly and nice, and I really like that color as well. I'm not a fan of that straight seat, and that I would change straight away, but I know that a lot of people are. The piggyback suspension hidden behind the bags is great. It looks from a distance, it looks like a very expensive suspension. It does look great. I don't like the signals in front. It's not that bad in my opinion, but at the back I really don't like it. But that is very, very personal, isn't it? I mean, for me it reminds me very old school motorcycle, and I believe that's what it's made for. In my preference, that even old school motorcycle needs to be modernized, and that's why I like the headlight, and that's why I like this little screen. I like these mirrors. They are Mickey Mouse mirrors, but they are not too much into your face, and they look very firm and very good quality. I do like a lot the grips. It has Royal Enfield on them, and I do like the shape and the size of them. They are just perfect. Really like it. Very comfortable. And the dash, I think it really suits the design of Royal Enfield. Oh, if those lights wouldn't be here and we would have something different, and then I would like the view from the top. As you can see on the dash, everything is very simple. You can see your RPM on one side, and you can see your speed on the other side, in both in kilometers and miles. You can see your fuel gauge and how many miles you've done, your neutral and other bits and bobs if anything goes wrong, and hopefully nothing goes wrong. Nothing went wrong for me, and I'm very happy about it. To fuel up, it's also simple. You just open this, get your key inside and open it like that. Here we go, easy peasy. Also, this loan came with a side harness or side bags, and I like the quality of those. I'm not sure if when you buy the bike does it come with these, but I really like the quality of those, and they are quite roomy for little bits like my tripod for filming or camera, or if I do shopping, which I'm intended to do on the way home. Dinner sorted. Busy filming day means I'm not cooking, having a prep dinner. I swear it never gets light at this time of the year. It seems like it's dark and cold all the time. And guys, next month I'll have a surprise for you. I'm going somewhere warm, and I'll be riding another Royal Enfield as well as a couple other bikes for a review, but somewhere warm. I definitely can't complain, because here we still can ride despite maybe it is uncomfortable and I can't feel my toes, but it is dry. Today for a change, and it's okay. As you can see, me 1 meter 75 centimeters, 5'9", can reach the ground with both feet firmly, standing firmly. So it is good size for somebody like me, absolutely comfortable. The bike feels quite heavy, bear in mind. I mean, I found it feeling quite heavy, even though I ride a heavy bike, comparing with a lot of other bikes that I ride. This is, I would say, quite heavy. I expected it to be lighter. I found all the controls very easy to use and very easy to reach, except from that rear brake peg. For some reason I kept hitting something on the way, and it felt awkward until I got used to it. By now it is okay, and it doesn't cause any problems. It does feel comfortable for your bum. I haven't spent thousands of miles or hundreds even of miles a day to tell you how comfortable it is. And I meant to interview today a real owner of Interceptor, who has Interceptor for a year and a half and did 9,000 miles in it, and has a sidecar and takes his family for the adventures, but he's got COVID and we have to postpone the interview for later, not for this episode. Let me know, guys, if you would still like me to interview him, because I feel I did so many episodes of Interceptor, a lot more than I usually do on the press loan. So let me know if that would be interesting for you, and I would definitely do that. I would definitely arrange that. I will try my best to, because I think this is great to see the other side of it, the practicality of having an Interceptor with a sidecar and taking your family for a summer adventures, and to speak with the real owner of what he thinks, what he upgraded. I know that he upgraded the exhaust and has a better sound as well, which I wanted to film. So I would love to do that episode if you are interested in that. Also, talking about taking your family, I used to ride with my son a lot before. Now my son is 6 foot and he's not riding with me anymore, which I don't complain about, because taking a 6 foot fully grown up man with me would be harder. Just checking how muddy it is, if I can check how it is to be a pillion on this. Okay, so if it is 2 people like me, or even with a little bit bigger bum, it feels comfortable. It almost feels as good sitting as a pillion as sitting as a rider, which probably the only and best advantage of the straight seat. It's just me. I'm not a fan of that straight sofa kind of seat, but it does feel, if I would sit with somebody all day, looking around, checking my phone, drinking coffee, I think I would be all right. So it should be okay for you to have a pillion, and if you're planning trips with your partner and looking for a bike, that could be a choice for you as well. I really enjoyed riding it and having it over winter, when the roads are rough and you have no idea what can be around the corner. It can be slippery, muddy, big stretch, and you have to be a lot more careful. And on this bike, cruising along, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry and have that many oh shit moments that you have on other bikes. You don't have to feel like, oh my god, I want to go fast on this, I want to feel it better. You feel it as it is, no matter what speed you go. You go in town, you enjoy it. You go muddy, little slippery roads, you enjoy it. You go at night time, you're enjoying it. It's all about like probably the core of motorcycling. It's not about the speed, it's not about pushing your limits. It's just having 2 wheels to ride. Squeaky rear brake. But now it's time for Interceptor to go back to Royal Enfield, and I'm getting a new press loan from Royal Enfield, a bike I haven't rode before. Very excited about this one because it is perfect for this time of the year. I'll let you guess what it is. I will not tell you, because you will see it on the first impressions episode sometime very soon, maybe even before Christmas. I haven't decided if I'm doing Christmas episode or not. If I'll not see you before or around Christmas time, and this is the only episode that you're watching at this time, Merry Christmas for you and Happy New Year!